Yo, what's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Triple B's is back in the Haunted Basement studio, and welcome and thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to talk about the movie called Sick, and it just came out on Peacock, and it's produced by Blumhouse and Kevin Williamson. And the film was directed by John Hyams, and it stars Gideon Allen and Beth Million. And this film debuted at the Toronto Festival in 2022, and it was released on Peacock January 13th, 2023. All right, man. So we got the plot of Sick. It's the 2020 pandemic that's everyone's going through here in the United States. So everybody has to wear masks. There's no fucking toilet paper at the fucking grocery store. And so we're introduced to a character named Tyler, and he's trying to get some supplies at the grocery store. He's kind of getting stalked over his cell phone. He's getting messages sent to him. Doesn't know who the fuck it is. But by the time that he gets home, the stalker is in his house, and the stalker kills him in a pretty damn good showdown. He fucking runs into his bedroom. He locks himself in there. He got stabbed through the hand pretty good, so he's fucking bleeding all over the place. Assumes that the killer leaves because you hear some police sirens, and then when he leaves his bedroom and then leaves his house, he gets stabbed in the neck. So fucking kind of like the beginning of any good little horror movie, where you're going to have a kill to set up the rest of the movie. All right, so now we're going to get introduced to the two final girls. We got Parker and we got Mary, and they're going to head off to Parker's family lake house out in the middle of nowhere to quarantine. And when they drive out there, it really is out in the middle of nowhere. It's a big ass log cabin. Looks pretty damn scary. Looks like it's a great atmosphere for a horror movie, a slasher to come in. As the girls relax and get ready for a good night at the lake house, they go and enjoy themselves by the lake to have a tan. As they're sitting there having a tan, Parker starts getting these cryptic messages saying, like, jump in the lake, I know where you are. And she's just like, fuck this. She just blocks him and fucking puts her phone away. And that's kind of like the beginning scene with Tyler. He was getting those same types of messages. Later that night, a truck pulls up and someone starts banging on the door. As the girls yell out, who is it? They don't answer. And so they grab a knife and they walk out the front door. And then, not knowing to them, whoever was at the front door came in through the back door and scares the shit out of them. Comes to find out it's just one of Parker's friends, DJ. So DJ and Parker used to be boyfriend and girlfriend. They're kind of on hiatus right now. And that's the reason why he showed up to the lake house, because he wanted to confront her about a video that he saw on social media where she was kissing this dude named Benji. And she kind of just brushes him off, saying it was just a party. We're not exclusive. He wants to know if that she hooked up with him, but she doesn't tell him. And she says, you know what, you can go ahead and stay tonight. Everyone's crashing. And so they all kind of go into their own beds. Mary goes off into her own room. You got Parker, she brushes her teeth. She puts her phone on the charger. And you got DJ downstairs on the couch. He's on his phone. He puts his phone on the charger. Not knowing to them, there's an intruder that snuck in the house. Because just earlier, right after he confronts her, DJ confronts Parker, he goes over to his car to get his bag, his fucking clothes. He leaves the door open. You see a black figure walk into the house. So now, as an audience member watching this movie, I know that there's an intruder in the house and 3 people do not know it. And now this is where the suspense really starts to kick in. It took all the way till to get dark in the movie for you to start feeling a little suspense. But what we really got is a big cat and mouse game. But at the beginning, so the intruder is going to take all their phones one by one. And so DJ wakes up and he's like reaching for his phone. He can't find it. And he's kind of looking around for his phone. Then all of a sudden some loud music comes on from in the basement. And it kind of startles you a little bit. And then you see Parker upstairs. She wakes up because she hears the music. She comes downstairs and she looks downstairs after she gets to the first floor, because she was up on the top, on the second floor. She gets to the middle floor where DJ is at. And she looks down into the basement and you can see a shadow figure walk by. And she's like hey DJ. Right when she does that, DJ grabs her mouth. It's like, be quiet, be quiet. There's an intruder in the house. And then the music turns off. DJ now tells Parker, hey, climb out the window and get downstairs and get to Mary's room. And now she does that. She gets downstairs, and then right when she looks outside Mary's window, you see the intruder there. And she yells and wakes up Mary. And right as the intruder goes to stab Mary, she's able to get away and run away from the intruder. And then Parker and Mary, they meet up and they have the keys to the truck, and they're getting in the truck and they're waiting for DJ to come out. DJ now is inside and he is fighting with the intruder, and looks like he's actually going to win and get away. But the intruder does get the upper hand on him and stabs him a bunch of times. The door slowly opens up as the girls wait in the truck and they see DJ slowly coming out. Parker then gets out to go over and try to help him. And then she realizes that he is being held up, being impelled, and being held up by like a stick by the intruder, and then drops him. And then she sees the intruder and then she runs back into the truck. And as she jumps in the truck, Miri peels off and takes off, but it shows the tire, and the tires are flat and it's almost going all the way down the rim. So she's fucking driving down the driveway, but she's not getting very far, where she ends up getting stuck. And as she's getting stuck, and they're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? You see the intruder running right towards the vehicle, and he grabs a rock and he fucking throws it right through the passenger door, and it breaks. And then they both jump out the driver's door, and then they fucking take off into the woods. And in a roundabout way, they make it back to their cabin, and then they go all the way up to the attic, and they lock themselves in the attic. The intruder comes up the stairs and he's trying to break into the attic's door, and then he's almost gets there, but the girls overpower him and push him down the stairs, and he tumbles down the stairs, and then they shut the attic door again. And this time they just fucking break the window out of the attic, and then they climb up onto the top of the roof, and they're walking along the ledge of the house, and they keep on looking down, and it's fucking pretty far down. You wouldn't want to fall off of there. And then we got Taylor, and not Taylor, but Parker makes it over where she needs to go, and Mary's right behind her, but she keeps on looking down. She looks down at the wrong moment because she's right by a window, and the intruder pushes her off, and she falls the 2-3 stories down and lands right on the grass and hits pretty hard. And a damn good scene, I may have to say. Parker now runs into the kitchen where she's confronted by the intruder, where they have a showdown. And with the final girl here, she gets the upper hand and fucking beats his ass with like a glass vase. And this smashes his head so many times. And this keeps hitting him over and over and over. And blood's going everywhere. And we're like, yes, she's killing him. And then she stops and she's catching her breath. And then she looks up, and then she sees a second intruder coming into the house. Parker now then turns and runs away from the intruder, and she heads out to the lake house. And when she gets to the dock, she takes the raft and detaches it, and she starts paddling her way across the lake as she leaves the intruder looking at her. And as she's paddling, she's about halfway there, but the intruder, unknowing to her and to the audience, jump in and swam after the raft, and he was able to get the oar from Parker. And now Parker's stuck on this raft with this intruder with a knife below it, and he's stabbing up in between the boards of the raft, and he actually gets her right in her hand and cuts her right through her hand, and the blade goes down. And she has no other choice. She has to jump off the raft and swim the rest of the way across the lake to where there's a neighbor there. And so she does that, and she gets to the neighbor's house, and she breaks in, and the neighbor hears somebody breaking in, and then he comes downstairs with a shotgun and he almost shoots her. But then she pleads with him, hey, remember me, remember me. My dad owns the house across the lake. He's like, oh, okay, I do remember you. Oh, let's call the cops. Right when he turns around, bam, the intruder's right there, slices his throat. And so now the chase is on again. And this time, Parker makes it to a road, and she hides behind a bush, hiding from the intruder. Meanwhile, back at the lake house, Mary is not dead. She's got a broken leg and probably some internal bleeding, I would imagine. She makes it back inside the house, where she's trying to make a tourniquet for her broken leg. The first intruder starts to wake up and attacks Mary, but Mary grabs a knife and stabs him right in the throat. All right, so back on the road, Parker's fighting the intruder with a log stick, and she beats him over the head a couple times. And as he's dazed, a car is pulling up, and so she runs over to the car's passenger window, but it's only cracked like that much. And the lady in there is wearing a mask, and she's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" She's like, "This guy's trying to fucking kill me. He's trying to kill me." There's blood all over her. She's like, "Let me in, let me in." The girl's like, "Where's your mask? Where's your mask?" She's like, "I don't have a fucking mask." She's like, "Oh, I got an extra one." And then she pulls a mask out of like this baggie, and then she gives it to Parker. And when Parker puts it on, she starts breathing it in. She's like, "This mask smells funny," and then she passes out. Seems like this driver of the car is with the intruders. They're all part of the same sick trick that they have in their mind. They take Parker back to the farmhouse where Mary is hiding from them because she sees them pull up, and she can hardly move because she's got that broken leg. And this is where the motive comes out from the killer. It all started out with Tyler giving Parker COVID-19, so they killed him at the beginning of the movie. And then Parker was kissing Benji at that party. Turns out that Benji is their youngest son, and now he's dead because he died of COVID-19 because he couldn't breathe. The father intruder now reveals that the first intruder was his older son, and now he's dead. And then he realizes that that's not the way that he left him, and that Mary's still alive. So he goes outside looking for Mary. And as he's outside, Mary and Parker take advantage of them being 2-1, and they take down the mom. They bust a bottle over her head and throw her out the glass window. And they run upstairs to hide from the father intruder. And then as he goes upstairs, they open the door and they push him over the ledge, and he falls down and he lands on some antlers, and he gets impaled and he dies. And then they take off to a shed where they're trying to get into like a four-wheeler to get it started. They can't get it started. The mom appears and tries to attack him one last time. They get gasoline on her, they light her up on fire. She burns in the middle of the road, and the cops show up. In credits cut. That was the movie of Sick. All right, man. So my final thoughts on the movie is I thought it was just all right. It was pretty good. There was some good atmosphere in it, some good cinematography, just a little bit of it, but not a whole lot going on, even with the chase scenes. I do believe that our final girl, Gillian, was fucking pretty damn good. I thought she did a damn good job. Same with Bethany. She did a pretty good job. I'd like to have two final girls in a movie. Might as well. And to see and as for the killers, I didn't like them at all. Just pretty basic, generic, all black and a mask. Nothing too crazy about it, but maybe more like real life shit. So I guess. But for a slasher film, for me, it was just okay. And you can watch this movie on Peacock right now, and it's free. Kevin Williamson is producing the new Scream 6, and he's working with Blumhouse because this was done by Blumhouse. Not too bad of a movie. But my final ranking is I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Pretty much you can stream it. It's not glad I watched it. It's just, I watched it. So, but not bad. So tell me what you all think about the movie Sick in the comment section below, and hit that sub button on the way out. Triple B's out of the haunted basement studio once again, and you motherfuckers keep it hard.